My name is Henry Coleman. Today is July the 20th, 2014. Today I read an article in the Tampa Bay Tribune which is announcing that Representative James Grant has an opponent in the upcoming primary of Ms. Steinberg from Tampa. I would like to take this opportunity to clear up some of the record. James Grant came to Hardee County, which is where I live, in September of 2011 with a Mr. Travis Bond. The two of those who were sponsored by Representative Ben Albritton and in a company that hadn't yet been formed called LifeSync Technologies with Representative Jason Broider and others. Mr. Grant came to Hardee County and gave a 2-hour presentation about a revolutionary new product called Blue Water. A web-based solution, he called it, ready to go, was going to come out in January as a beta. It was projected to have, in 2014, 44 employees and $5.7 million in profit, ready to go. Made fantastic claims, capabilities of what was going to happen. 2-hour PowerPoint presentation with a detailed business plan on a company that, when they put in the application, had never existed. Mr. Grant came in to a board of 6 on the IDA in Hardee County and got $7.25 million in cash that day, a grant award, to be paid out over 3 years. First check was in October for $877,000. Mr. Grant's net worth in 2011, in his financial disclosure, I believe, was $1,000 as a new congressman. His net worth on this latest disclosure was $168,000. Hardee County personally sent around $150,000 in cash to Representative Grant over 26 months. Hardee County sent over $9,000 per day for 790 days to Mr. Grant and Mr. Bond. Mr. Grant had a dream team that was ready to go. The product was going to be on the market. He was moving everything to Hardee County along with Mr. Bond's company called LifeDash. He's going to set up a tech center in Hardee County. Never happened. LifeSync never moved to Hardee County. 1 year later, he sold the remainder of the grant, $4.6 million, to Mr. Bond for stock in Continuum Labs, a company with one owner, Mr. Bond. Mr. Bond started getting $300,000 per month in cash from Hardee County until the money ran out, $7.25 million gone in December of 2013. Part of the deal to give the rest of the grant to Mr. Bond was that Mr. Grant and Mr. Broider, another representative, be paid $5,800 per month, every month, for consulting services in marketing and sales. This was during a time period when they had no product. The product never came out. The product had to be completely redone in September, starting September of 2012, wasn't released until April of 2013. There has never been a single report of any sales or revenue or any results on the product. The grant is bankrupt. The report in the Tampa Bay Tribune says that there was an investigation started, but it was closed out with no fraud. That was an old investigation. There's a new investigation. An active and ongoing criminal investigation is underway right now on LifeSync Technologies and Continuum Labs and Hardee County public officials that looked the other way on this project. Mr. Grant came to Hardee County in September of 2011, never came back until May of 2012 for how you doing. He left the company, sold a product in September of 2012. Never came back once again until October of 2013, one day before the last vote by a stacked board on the IDA by corrupt public officials. Came back the day before the last vote for the last $1 million to lobby people on that board privately. Never showed up the next day for the vote. Mr. Grant refused to release any public records at all until a lawsuit was filed. It was a year and a half later that he actually released the canceled checks that his company wrote during the first year. 6 to 9 checks per month, handwritten to himself and other principals of the company as salary. Those checks were released by Mr. Bill Lambert as a result of a videotaped deposition in the lawsuit to recover public records that they refused to release. Those are the only records that were kept on LifeSync. That's it. Checks. Plus a 2-page progress report that showed the product was failing, never came to market. All of the stuff that he promised, none of that happened. The grant is bankrupt. Mr. Lambert, Economic Development Director of Hardee County, was the project manager and administrator for the first year. He admits he didn't look at anything. He also says that he had secret meetings with Mr. Grant in parking lots in his pickup truck every month, where Mr. Grant would bring those canceled checks and those 2-page progress reports, show them to him, he would give them back. We asked him, where did $2.55 million in cash go? And he said, I have no idea. Claims no responsibility. Mr. Grant won't answer those questions. Mr. Bond took the company over in September of 2012 with the same results. Vote after vote, month after month, $300,000 per month went to those companies until the money ran out. And here we are in July of 2014. The project is on hold, criminal investigation. Mr. Grant's ethics complaint on LifeSync, the first hearing, probable cause hearing, is next Friday in Tallahassee. Mr. Grant took over $150,000 in salary alone. We have no idea where the rest of the money went. Zero idea. We have no idea on results. We have no idea on what gave him the idea to write a detailed business plan about stuff he had no idea about. Nobody did. So, let me see what else we did here. Mike Deason of Channel 10 has done 3 or 4 reports on LifeSync Technologies and done his best to interview Mr. Grant, who hides from the press most of the time, unless he's caught on the sidewalk. The Auditor General came to Hardee County in June of 2012, stayed about 4 months, wrote a scathing report with most of the findings against LifeSync Technology. A grant that never should have been given, a company that was never vetted or evaluated, that wasn't even a company. The results are showing now that these public officials were part of the deal. Representative Ben Albritton was a part owner of LifeSync, and so was Mr. Joe Albritton, his brother, who was on the IDA board, and Mr. Jim C., the Albritton's uncle, who was on the IDA board. They're the ones who approved. There's only 6 people on that board. All are connected. So they approved that, and then month after month, they refused to look. They refused to answer the Auditor General's findings. They refused to do anything about it. They just kept voting for more money. At March the 12th of 2013, I asked for Mr. Bond, who took the project over, but Mr. Grant's still part owner, but he wouldn't show up in Hardee County. I asked him to explain the revenue problem. Where's the money? How are you going to support a self-sustaining company in Hardee County with no revenue? He wouldn't answer that. The board would not answer the question. It's all on videotape. Everything I'm telling you is on videotape. So I want to set the record straight on this newspaper report. In addition to $7.25 million in cash, they got a free building. A free building was completely redone to become a tech center that they have use for free. At the present time, they won't tell us anything about who's there, what they're doing, anything about the product, if it's selling anything. It's supposed to be like the newspaper said, a web-based solution where people can write down their medical records. None of it made any sense to me. I can't understand why this would be a success, and it's proving to this point, unless proven differently, it's getting a little late. It is a few months before the end of the third year. The project is over with in September. There's no private money in this. Mr. Grant didn't put a dime in. Mr. Bond said he had $2 million, but he's never shown that. All of the money for this brand new company came from the public. Mr. Grant got total salary, as did his personal assistant, Miss Lux, Miss Broider. Mr. Grant hired his own brother, John Grant III, for legal services and was writing him checks. There was a couple other consultants that they can't explain what that money was used for. All of this is on videotape deposition. So Mr. Grant says that there are people in Hardee County who are against economic development and they want to keep the wage base low, and that's why his project is a failure. That's a lie. Who is against economic development in Hardee County, especially his critics? I'm his main critic. I'm retired. I don't care what the wage base is. The higher the better for me, the lower the taxes. Mr. Grant is making up excuses for his corrupt behavior, walking away with cash month after month, which is basically the backbone of his net worth right now, and lying about what he said he was going to do and what he did. I have the checks that he wrote. Why did he say this project was not smart politically? It was not a politically smart decision to go ahead with the project. What did politics have to do with it? That was my position from day one. Part of his presentation was they were state representatives and they knew a lot of people that they were going to get to sign up, insurance companies and healthcare providers. Politics shouldn't be a factor in a private business. If he's using his political position to make a successful company for himself, there was no positive outcome for Hardee County. If this thing succeeded and we got the jobs, that's it. If it failed, we took the hit. They wrote the contract. It was a corrupt contract written to be unenforceable. Representative Grant is an attorney. He helped write that contract, which was basically replicated for Continuum Labs by corrupt public officials in Hardee County. I think it's an ongoing criminal enterprise of a lot of people covering each other's backs. Now, Mr. Grant has yet to answer one question about any of this. He says he's open and honest and available, but he's not. Just ask reporter Mike Deason. So I want to set the record straight. I want Representative Grant to answer for what he's done to Hardee County and what he hasn't done. We want our money back. He personally signed a note to pay that money back if this project failed. We want it back. Thank you.